Great evening. Lakeisha McKnight is here, right here, live in Chesapeake, Virginia, here in the United States, or as some people would say, North America. So I just want to welcome you to this podcast that is Leadership TKO podcast. That's right. This is a podcast that is a part of the Leadership TKO radio station. And it is, of course, a station that's a media outlet that's covered under the iLead company. Now, iLead stands for the International Leadership Education and Development Company. That's right. And with the brand and iLead company, what we intend to do is to partner up with small businesses, with associations, with universities, and faith-based groups to build winning leaders. That's what we intend to do with the iLead company and with the Leadership TKO radio station. So welcome to each and every one of you listening in at this particular moment. Understand that we do come on the platform live. We're using a Spreaker platform, and we have an opportunity where we can interact with you. So at any moment, if you are on the website, Spreaker.com, or if you're at the station's website, which is leadershiptkostation.com, you should be able to interact with us. But more than likely, you'll be able to do it on the Spreaker website, or if you're using the app. We, as a station, we do have an app in the Google Play market. Or, in other words, if you have an Android, if you have an Android phone, you are encouraged to visit the Google Play Store and look up Leadership TKO. Leadership TKO. And when you do that, you should be able to download the Leadership TKO podcast app. Okay, so go ahead and download that app. It's totally free for you. So before we dive into some great content and share updates, I am going to share myself. So as you're listening in right now, feel free to share on your social media platforms, text individuals that you know that you want to be able to become great leaders, and let them know that we're live here on the platform. And I'm going to do the same. And one of the main platforms that I do share and let people know that I'm live on is on Facebook. So feel free to share, as even I'm sharing right now. So I'm just going to say join in with me as I am now live. And I have to do this because sometimes when you're using specific devices, what happens is it'll enter in words that you really didn't want. Then you have to go back and edit and tweak and do all of these things. So to avoid that, I just sometimes speak it as I type it. So welcome to each and every one of you. I did some researching to find out what was our latest countries who tune into this particular station. And I want to see if I can pull up the image right now. Hopefully I can. And if I can pull up the image, that's going to be awesome. And the reason being is because I can acknowledge those of you who've been listening in. So I'm able to look. Right now, what I'm seeing right now, of course, is people. Those of you in the United States are listening in. We thank you so much. Those of you in South Africa, you stepped it up a bit with listening in. We appreciate those of you from the Philippines. Thank you so much, those of you in the Philippines, for listening in live or on demand to the station here. Thank you, those of you in the United Kingdom. We appreciate you. We definitely want to let you know that we have some great things in store for all of you who listen in. So thank you. Those of you in Italy, we do plan to be in Italy, myself and maybe a few of my team members. We're going to try to get to Italy in 2018. Of course, God can create that situation, a scenario to be sooner than 2018, but it's really up to him. So we're going to leave it at that. We appreciate those of you in the Republic of Korea for tuning in. Those of you in France, thank you so much for tuning in to Leadership TKO. Croatia. Those of you in Croatia, thank you so much for listening into the station. Those of you in Pakistan, as well as Brazil and any other country that we failed to acknowledge or at least mention while we're here live on air, we thank you so very much for listening in. It's about 9:05, okay? 9:05 And we appreciate each and every one of you. When I say 9:05, it's 9:05 p.m., okay? 9:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here in the United States, specifically in Virginia, okay? So if you're listening in, just wanted to let you know where we're actually listening in from. All right, wonderful, wonderful. So thank you once again for those of you who are here. We appreciate you. Just note that we are here. Most times it's Monday through Fridays, but I am going to share a little bit of the update regarding our new layout, because that's the focus for tonight, talking about the new layout. And then I will wrap things up and letting you know a little bit about a campaign that we do have going on that's connected to the iLead company. So as I'm sharing with you the layout, because one thing you should know about Leadership TKO is that we have various subdivisions. Okay, so it's not just Leadership TKO, but there's a certain groups of individuals, professionals that we cater to, that we help. And so I'm going to share with you a little bit about those we help as I talk to you about the schedule. Okay, so let me see if I can pull that up even as I am talking to you live on the platform. Hopefully I can. Okay, so, and just take note. You know, if you want to tune in, if there's specific days you want to tune in, that's cool. You know, either way. But we appreciate those of you who do listen into the platform. So here it is. Here's my layout. I have my little schedule before me so I can share that with you. So we have a new day that we're going to be making official with this podcast. Okay, it's going to be official. Our new official day added is Sundays. Okay, because on Sundays are now going to be our spirit building Sundays. Spirit Building Sunday. This is where we're preparing for the launching of Leadership TKO for Believers. It's not official yet. That subdivision is not official yet, but we're preparing for it. We want to really make it official in 2018. So we don't want to rush it, but we do want to make sure we do cater to and build up and empower your spirit man. So on Sundays, it's going to be Spirit Building Sundays, and we will be here live on the platform. Okay, live on the platform. We seek to be live on the platform. We're going to try to be consistent with the 9 o'clock time. But if we need to adjust it, we'll adjust it, because I know sometimes, you know, to be live at 9 o'clock on Sundays, it can be a little bit of a stretch for people, especially if you're still working and you're trying to get yourself prepared for the next day. We do understand. But we are going to try to be consistent, and 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time is our consistent time, daily time. Okay. So our new additional day that's going to be official is Sundays. Sundays at 9 o'clock p.m. is our Spirit Building Sunday. And then we're going to move on to Mondays, right? Mondays are our Money Mondays. Okay. It is our Money Monday. So make sure that you document that. Now, we talk about money via video. I know today we didn't do a video regarding money simply because we're trying to get some tech things straight on our end. And so we don't want any delays with the video. So we just said, I know Mondays, we're just going to have a little bit of a delay with it. But Money Mondays, okay? So we talk just like today, we focused in even on our blog. If you're new and you're not following the blog, we encourage you to follow us on the blog as well. We try to be consistent with the videos as well as what we post on social media, and we will be consistent via the podcast as well. So we're going to talk a lot about the article that we post. We're going to be consistent even with our podcasting, and the same topic will be reiterated, will be really interactive when it comes to the topic at hand for the day. So definitely stay tuned. So Money Mondays with Leadership TKO, with the iLead company, we're focusing in on money, building wealth. So it might not just be cash we're talking about. We're going to talk about saving. We're talking about digital money. We're talking about investments and so much more. So let your friends know we're talking about money. We're talking about finances. We're talking about investments. And not just that, okay? not only are we just talking about money all day, but we are going to intertwine Money Mondays with talking about the subdivision of Leadership TKO magazine. I know sometimes it may feel like the magazine is a little bit of a back burner, and we do not want that to be the case, because the magazine is extremely powerful. It's a tangible method, right, by which people can read, people can get updates, not just about the company, but insight from other professionals who are really knowledgeable on various topics that's going to help build winning leaders. And so we're not forgetting about the magazine at all. And this is the reason why we're intertwining Mondays with talking about our magazine. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And so the way we're going to be doing that, intertwining the two, is really talking about how even with magazine writing, even with magazine, advertising in the magazine and things of that nature, how you're going to grow your business, how you can build profits, and so much more. So we're going to intertwine it that way. So stay tuned. It's going to be powerful. That's our Mondays, okay? We also have Tuesdays. So Tuesdays, yes, we go live on the podcast on Tuesdays as well. And so what we're going to focus in on Tuesdays, we don't normally have a blog that we post on Tuesdays. So there may not be a blog post, but on Tuesdays, we're focusing on Leadership TKO for authors. So authors out there, if you're listening in right now, we're going to really cater to you on Tuesdays. If you've been thinking about writing a book, if you have books published, that day, we're going to cater to you. We're going to serve you on that day via the podcast. That's right. So we're going to give you some great content and information regarding writing, just little tidbits here and there. And so we're going to encourage you to get access to freebies and so much more. So that's our Tuesdays here on the platform. On Wednesdays, we're going to definitely keep focusing on what we do on Wednesdays on the blog, which is Winning Leader Wednesdays. Winning Leader Wednesdays. We're giving you leadership tips, right, via the blog. But we're also going to intertwine that with talking about Leadership TKO for marketers. I know we didn't do a grand launching of TKO for marketers, and we're going to relaunch this subdivision. That's right. We're probably going to relaunch that in 2018. But marketing is essential anyway, and I really don't want to delay discussing that. And so this is the reason why we're going to talk about that on Wednesdays, and the importance of leaders realizing that they're marketers as well. So stay tuned. That is going to be a great day. You don't want to miss that, especially for those of you leaders who are entrepreneurs. Okay. On Thursdays, we don't have a blog post, but we are going to focus on Leadership TKO for speakers. Leadership TKO for speakers. So those of you who are just getting started, you've dreamed of becoming a professional speaker, getting paid to speak, that platform, that day on the podcast, on the station is for you. Don't miss it. On Thursdays, 9:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to help you, direct you to resources, direct you to strategies, all the above, right there on Thursdays, Leadership TKO for speakers. And then on Fridays, even on our blog, is our Fitness Fridays. And we talk a lot on the blog about health, about exercise and things of that nature, about resources that's going to be helpful for you to become healthy. For those of you who are struggling with all types of illnesses and you're struggling with trying to get a fitness plan, all of those things we're going to really talk about on Fridays. All right. And we may carry it into Saturdays. We're going to play around with it. But right now it's focusing on Fridays. So Fitness Fridays. And we're going to intertwine that, even though we may not be on the podcast the whole day. We understand that. We are going to focus on the podcast, though. Talking about fitness, we are going to talk about fitness on the podcast, but we're going to also include a little bit of fun with it, okay? So it's really going to talk about fun and just having moments where we may acknowledge specific entrepreneurs who are doing well with their fitness goals and things of that nature. So if you're working on fitness, you're trying to lose weight, and we notice your work on social media, you're posting images and so much more. Hey, leaders, those of you focusing on your health, we're going to acknowledge you on the podcast on that day, on Fitness Fridays. So there's nothing really going on Saturdays, giving you a break. There's no podcasting on Saturdays at this particular time, unless there's something serious going on. We have a special announcement, anything like that, we may jump on. But other than that, there's no podcasting going on Saturdays. So hopefully you have grabbed that, you picked up on that, you've taken note of what our schedule is going to be looking like. And let me just go back to, right here on the platform, I want to acknowledge a few ladies who's listening in, and I'm going to share with you how these ladies got connected, how powerful these ladies are. Because I can tell you this, that this past weekend, we had a lady CEO, right? A lady CEO business leadership boot camp. And some of these ladies that are listening in live right now and who are commenting on the platform were present. And so I want to acknowledge these ladies here who are present. So thank you so much for our Virginia ambassador, right? Virginia ambassador, Sandra Adjo Sakpanu. We thank you so much, Sandra, for being here, being actively involved with Leadership TKO, and of course, being at the boot camp. She was one of the trainers at the boot camp. She shared some great information as it pertains to emotional health, and she tied it into relationships. So thank you so much, Sandra, for your service. We appreciate you. We also want to acknowledge lovely lady Virginia ambassador, also with the campaign. We want to acknowledge Janine Harrod Brown. She was also present, right? Present. She drove quite a little bit, right, from where she lives, and she came into the area to be a part of the Lady CEO, right, Business Leadership Bootcamp as well this past weekend. We had part 1 this past weekend, and we're going to be continuing on with part number 2. We're going to definitely confirm, but we're looking forward to doing this in September. The official date for part 2 of the boot camp is going to be in September, but we're trying to get it confirmed, so we will let you know. But it is going to be open to men and women. It's not just going to be women, but men and women are going to be welcome to attend. All right, so just acknowledging those lovely ladies, and they were taking some notes in the comments area. So if you missed anything, feel free to go jump into the comments area and read on because they are going to provide you with some great stuff. Okay, great stuff. And so thank you so much, Janine. I do see some of the commenting that she's made, providing those of you who haven't been following along, you'll know now what we have going on. Okay. Janine says the Lady CEO Bootcamp was awesome. You need to get yourself connected if you missed it. Indeed. So we thank you so much, Janine, for being present. It was lovely, and I'm ready for part 2. Awesome. So yeah, I mean, we had a wonderful time at the Lady CEO Business Leadership Bootcamp, and we talked really about leadership. We talked about business marketing as leaders. We went into discussing the importance of establishing and building wealth. Katina Elliott, another Virginia ambassador, she spoke about building wealth as leaders, and then we transitioned into really talking about emotional intelligence and its connection to relationships. Sandra spoke about that. And, we're definitely going to be starting with our committed member within the campaign. I'm going to share with you more about the campaign, but there is a committed member who is present. She's also a trainer with Leadership TKO and the iLead company, and her name is Rika Wright. And the next time we come together for part number 2, she's going to lead us with talking about how leaders get fit. Okay, so she will be speaking during part 2 about leaders becoming fit. Right? Definitely working towards your fitness goals and your health goals. So we look forward to part number 2, and that will be confirmed pretty soon. We're just waiting for the venue liaison to let us know whether we're good for a specific date and time. And it will be longer than what we had scheduled for this past weekend. We're going to try to get it to be a couple of hours. We're looking for maybe about 5 hours total. That way we don't have to be rushed, right, to complete our boot camp. So we're looking forward to that. So let me backtrack a little bit. For those of you who are new to this podcast, you're like, what are we talking about regarding a campaign? I want to fill you in just a bit. So let's just take a little deep breath. I know I'm taking a deep breath myself. Right? Just take a little deep breath so we can dive into just talking about this campaign, because I want to fill you in. If you have not been connected to the campaign that we've been referencing, you want to get connected indeed. And here is why. Now, with Leadership TKO, we do have several subdivisions, as I've already mentioned. But one of the subdivisions, one of the subdivisions is Leadership TKO for Women. Leadership TKO for Women. And I'm going to backtrack a little bit, because I know some of you are probably saying, well, Lakeisha, I haven't heard you talking about how Leadership TKO for Women is going to be discussed on one of the days. We are definitely going to stick with our programming, okay? Normally we have interviews on Thursdays, and even with the podcast, let me tell you, even with the podcasting and the scheduling, we do still let people know about this campaign despite the scheduling. So you're going to notice that we still give you little nuggets here and there. We still let you know about the campaign because it's closely connected to the brand itself. So even though there may not be a designated specific day for Leadership TKO for Women, we do intertwine it, right? Daily anyway. Okay. We still are going to let people know about the campaign daily anyway, but there's going to be specific focuses. Okay. So that's just a heads up for you. But we on Thursdays, just know we do have interviews. And the reason why we have interviews is with Leadership TKO for Women, there's a campaign entitled Born to Lead, Global Women's Leadership Campaign. So let me say that one more time. Born to Lead, Global Women's Leadership Campaign. This campaign is the fuel. It's the fuel that empowers, that drives Leadership TKO for Women. And we encourage every female, if you have breath in your body, if you believe that you are a leader, you were born to lead, you need to be a part of this global movement. It is indeed a global movement because it started at the end of February, early March, while I was in Bangkok. Okay, I was in Bangkok. I was a speaker with a leadership conference there. And I shared a little snippet of a manuscript that's going to be published here in the States. Actually, right, on the 28th of this month, it will be available, right? So I am going to give more information about that in just a few seconds, okay? It says sex. Don't get misunderstood. Seconds. I got to put that in there because I tell you, you never know what people are thinking. All right. So while I was in Bangkok, I shared a little snippet of the book while I was there, meaning that I talked about leadership nuggets from the book. And when I did that, it really pushed the subdivision Leadership TKO for Women forward. And so with this movement, the Born to Lead Global Women's Leadership Campaign or movement, many women from around the world have joined this campaign and became connected. They learned about the mission and they made an educated decision. You see how that rhymed? They learned about the mission and made an educational decision. So here's the mission of the campaign. The mission is twofold. The first part of the mission is to promote a spirit of sisterhood amongst women so that we can become effective leaders. A spirit of sisterhood amongst women so that we can become effective leaders. That's the first part. The second part of the mission is to bring awareness to women's issues that are prevalent all around the world. And you know, some of those issues range from domestic violence to wage inequality to sexual harassment, sex trafficking, physical health ailments such as high blood pressure, lupus, heart disease, cancer, and so much more. And we talk about the issues, but we don't just stop there. We brainstorm and talk about how, there are solutions out there that exist to remedy those concerns. And if they're not effective, we're going to come together and, being led by God, we are going to create powerful solutions. Create them. Wouldn't it be amazing if God just empowered us to make this super dope fitness program or super dope, whatever it is that's going to cater to the whole total wellness of women? Wouldn't that be awesome? I mean, it will just blow the minds of many people if we came together and created something amazing like that. But anyway, I digress. I'm coming back to, I'm going to stick to the regularly scheduled agenda here. But that's what we intend to do. That's the twofold mission of this campaign. And I'm going to pause a minute after I've shared with you the mission just now. If after hearing this mission, if you believe that the mission coincides with your personal mission in life or your business mission to empower women to be winning leaders, I encourage you to get connected and become a member of this campaign. And it's really simple to do. Okay, Janine, are you ready? Because I know Janine is listening and she's probably ready to post some links, to post some content. I know she's ready. All right. So here's how you can get plugged in and become a member of this campaign. Number one, I want you to make sure you're on a laptop or a desktop. Number two, I want you to visit a website. This website address is www.borntolead2017.com. That's BORNTOLEAD2017.com. Visit the website and a questionnaire is going to appear before you. Complete the questionnaire. Takes less than 2 minutes to complete. Then hit the submit button. Then it's going to take you over to a Facebook group where all of the members are hanging out and networking. P.S. I do have some updates about the group as well. Just stay tuned. And so hit the request to join and we will let you in. Now, when I say we, there are 5 other women who helped me to launch this campaign. Those 5 additional women are Takara Steele, Dr. Remy Douye, Cheryl Harris Sutton, Shalia McDaniel, and Maricela Messner. These 5 women collaborated with me and the iLead company to create the powerful movement that we have going on, okay, that drives the subdivision Leadership TKO for Women. They have their own businesses, but they've decided to join in. Now, when I just mentioned something about a book that's going to be published. Now, that's just one element of the campaign. And I want you to visit this website specifically that's going to tell you all about the 4 elements within this campaign. And this website address is leadershiptkOforwomen.com, right? Simple enough. It's the subdivision's name, leadershiptkOforwomen.com. Now, the 4 is FOR, okay? So leadershiptkOforwomen.com. When you go there, you're going to learn about the 4 elements. Now, the 4 elements, number 1, the first element is the TKO for Women book. So that's Leadership TKO for Women. This book is going to be available, right? We're praying, available starting August 28th. Now, we're trying to get it into bookstores, so when it's available in bookstores, we will let you know. But it will be available starting August 28th. That's what our goal is. The second element is Leadership TKO Global Reality Show. This is where we're interviewing women via video and on the podcast, okay? And it's normally on Thursdays at 9:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So even though we have our new schedule where Thursdays we focus on speakers, we're also focusing on women, okay? Women specifically. So we are going to talk about the campaign and we're going to talk about speaking, right? We're going to talk a lot about that. So you want to make sure you tune in. For those of you who are aspiring speakers, trying to enhance your speaking business, and you are a lady, we want you to be a part of that. And we will let you know, if you are a member of the campaign, the link for the interviews are posted in the campaign group. So we will let you know, hey, click on that link so that you'll be able to access being a part of listening in and watching the show. Okay? So we have the show that takes place on Thursdays at 9:00 p.m. We also have our events. That's the third element. Okay. The third element in the campaign is events. This is where we have boot camps, we have information sessions, conventions, we have conferences, right? Of course, we're going to be adding book signings since we're going to be releasing the book. So all of our events is the third element, events. And then the fourth element with this campaign is our virtual play. Now, this is going to be hot. You don't want to miss it. We're going to talk a lot more about the virtual play starting in September. Okay, starting in September. Now, we know that the play is also an event, but we set it aside simply because we know that there's so much more that could come about from this play. Because not only can it just be a virtual play, but it may turn into being a live in-person play. It may turn into being a movie. Who knows? Now, the movie might not be called Leadership TKO for Women. The movie might be called Born to Lead. You never know. I'm not trying to throw any hints out there. Speaking it out there into the universe, right? So we're just praying and continue to keep this campaign in prayer as well, because you never know what God can do. He can do things that we can't even imagine. Okay, so stay tuned. You just never know what will develop. The divine connections that have already been made, you just never know. All right, so those are the four elements. When you go to leadershiptkoforwomen.com, you're going to learn all about it. And so for those of you who are listening in right now, join the campaign if you're not a member. BornToLead2017.com is the quickest way to become a free member of the campaign. Now, notice I said free. It doesn't cost you anything to be a member. Okay. Now, when you come on board, now you might be asking, well, are there certain things I need to be doing as a member? It most certainly is. As you enter the group, we encourage you to request a campaign member photo. If you do not have a photo and you're listening in right now, simply reply in the comments area here on this platform, I want a member photo. And we can make sure that you get a marketing member photo. Okay, so reply here on this platform. You can send us a message in our inbox on Facebook. Any one of the leaders, you can let us know if you want a marketing member photo. Let us know and we will make sure that one is created for you. Okay. Now, as a member, your primary responsibility is to share, is to inform other women about this campaign. That is what we encourage you to do. Encourage them to visit the website BornToLead2017.com. That is your primary responsibility as a member. Now, if you're thinking, well, are there other ways that I can empower other women through this campaign? There are. Okay, there is. Now, the one way that you do this is if you want to step up your leadership, you want to supersize your leadership. We encourage you to inquire about becoming a state ambassador. Now, we have quite a few state ambassadors for the state of Virginia, but we welcome more. We want a minimum of 2, but we understand that there are going to be some who are more active than others. And we are going to be coming about reviewing how active you've been. So there will be a 3-month review. So we don't just put you in position and not review your status and what you've been doing. After 3 months, if there hasn't been much progress, we'll make a decision if you would like to stay as an ambassador or you would like to step down. Okay, so we're not just going to put people in position and not review and see what they've done, but we are going to come back. We're going to have a talk. We're going to probably be on the phone. We're going to have a conference and we're going to talk about your activity over the last 3 months as an ambassador. Now, your responsibilities as an ambassador, of course, the primary one is sharing and letting people know about the campaign. That's your primary one. Your second responsibility is letting people know about the things that are connected to the campaign, like our events that we have coming up, encouraging people to attend these events. We know you can't force their hand, but encouraging them to attend, and you must be present as well. So there can't be times where, you're like consistently not present for the events, because we want you to be able to lead by example. And the best way to lead by example is by you being present at the events. Okay? So, again, your responsibility, be a resource, be a reference so that you can encourage other people to become members of the campaign. You want to share about the campaign on your timeline, on Facebook, on Twitter, on, YouTube. If you want to do videos, encourage people to join. That's a way to do it. If you're listening in right now and you're saying, well, Lakeisha, I'm already a member. How do I become an ambassador? I want you to send me a message directly. Send me a message on Facebook. You can reply right here in the comments area here on the podcast and let me know, hey, Lakeisha, I'm interested in being an ambassador or learning about being an ambassador. And I'll be able to get in contact you and we'll move forward from there. Not everyone that applies will be an ambassador. Okay, we do review to see how you've been leading by example online, and we will inquire offline as well. Okay, so just giving you a little bit of a heads up as to what we do when it comes to putting people in position to be ambassadors. One thing about it is we did have a convention in May, and we're looking forward to our next convention in 2018. Now, notice I said 2018. Lord willing, we want this campaign to continue on. We're going to pass the torch on. So we know that there have been some foundational leaders that helped to push this campaign forward. But in 2018, the torch is going to be passed on. Okay? The torch will be passed on. We're going to be placing leaders in place to kind of represent and push this campaign forward. Okay? So stay tuned. We're going to give you more information about how that process is going to work. But you definitely want to stay connected. If we're not connected on Facebook already, I encourage you to get connected with me on that platform, because that's where I post a lot of information. And the way that you can get connected to me is by going to facebook.com/L McKnight Speaks. And that spelling for that is, of course, facebook.com/L McKnight SPEAKS. L McKnight Speaks. All right, so that's one way to get in contact with me. So we have some amazing things, like I said, coming up. I've shared with you today about our schedule, what it looks like, how we're going to cater to specific subdivisions here on this platform, as well as continuing to push the campaign forward. So we're never going to leave the campaign behind. Unless God says, you know what, this is the end of the campaign, drop it, we're going to continue to push it forward. I am proud to announce that we did launch TKO Apparel. We're going to let you know about the website soon, so you can go and check out the website. But Leadership TKO Apparel is now official. And so we're going to let you know the website pretty soon. Like I said, we were finalizing some technology kinks that came up last week with our system, because we had a little bit of an overload, and so we need to upgrade. Okay, we need to upgrade. We had a system overload. We had many people visiting the site, and so of course when things go down, when the hardware has an issue, we have to replace it. Okay, and so that's what we're working on right now. So if you notice delays and a couple of things that we need to be doing on social media and information we need to be getting to you, that is the reason for the delay. So we just want to put a little disclaimer out there for you. All right, everybody. So we've been here for quite some time. It's almost 40 after the hour. And I'm just appreciative of each and every one of you listening in here on this platform. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Now, remember, the main website for the company is leadershiptko.com, and also encourage you to visit our blog, leadershiptko.com/blog. Okay, so that's how you get in contact with us, via the blog. I want to give you a little bit of a reminder. Hold on a second. because I don't want to tell you the wrong thing. So a little bit of a reminder. So, of course, I know, you're probably thinking, well, Lakeisha, doesn't this start today? Aren't we supposed to be focusing in on the magazine? Yes. So the magazine is available. This is Leadership TKO magazine. This is a magazine that we publish actually. We publish it every quarter, so that's every 3 months one is published. So the one that's available right now is our summer 2017 edition. So when you go to leadershiptkomagazine.com, you're going to learn so much about the magazine. We do have ways in which you can be on the cover of the magazine. Oh, yeah. Okay. I think we do have one opening for the cover available for the winter edition. Yes. So if you ever dreamed of being on the cover of a magazine and you want to inquire about that, you want to be on the cover of a magazine, the winter 2017 issue cover platinum opportunity is available. So all you would need to do is inquire. We will begin posting ways that you can click on links a bit more inside of the description area. Okay, so we will post that. So if you want information about being on the cover of the magazine, if you've ever thought about writing an article on your niche to build leaders in that area, we will be able to provide you with information about that, on how you can write an article that helps to push your business forward. So even if you have a health and wellness business, you have a fashion business, you have anything that's going to help to improve moms who are also leaders, and you have a topic you want to cover, listen, we make that available for you through the Leadership TKO magazine. It can help to enhance your brand and allowing your brand to be global, because the magazine is actually read in over 21 countries. So being in the magazine, whether it's writing an article, or if it's an advertisement, or being on the cover, or even the classified section. This is where you can list your business name, you can list your website, a phone number, in all these things. You can list it in the classified section. Okay? It's a small way of advertising your business, but at least you have an opportunity to do so. Okay? Especially if you're on budget restraints. Okay? So just letting you know that. Some more information about the magazine. Indeed, we're going to start posting that in the description area of the podcast on Mondays. That way you can click on some important links, you can visit, and you can learn more. So that is what I really wanted to share with you regarding the Leadership TKO magazine. We're actually going to begin where we've been prepping. We're getting someone in place who's going to be the cover girl. She know who she is, right? Hopefully she's listening in. She know who she is. She's going to be on the cover of the fall 2017 issue. That is our next issue with this magazine. Our next issue with the magazine is the fall 2017 issue. So here's the deal. We're preparing because tomorrow, our focus, and it may even be our focus on social media as well, but our focus is on serving authors on Tuesdays. So even on the podcast, we're focusing in on Leadership TKO for authors. So be prepared, be ready, and remember, above all things, until tomorrow at 9:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, what are we going to encourage you to do? We encourage you to think, to speak, and to live leadership.